welcome to my channel. This is Jacob Schutzman, and today I'll teach you some features that work in the C programming language and don't work in C++. In most classes you'll hear from the instructor that C++ is a superset of C, which means everything that works in C works in C++, but in this case I will show you at least 3 things that do work in the version that's called ANSI C that came out in 1988 and defined by the C programming language book by K&R, Kernighan and Ritchie. And as I said before, C is able to work with it and C++ doesn't accept it. So let's go into the examples that I have for you. Okay, so first we'll look at the C program first. And I'm defining a character string with 3 characters, and I'm initializing it to the string C++ here, and then I'm just printing it. So let me show you that compile works. Build succeeded, and run the program, and this printf should just print those 3 characters one after the other with 1 space in between. Just look at the result here, the top line. Indeed it prints C space plus space plus. That works fine here. Now if I go into my C++ program and have the same construct, you can already see here that I have an exclamation mark which tells you that there is a problem here. If I look at the problem, it says initializer string for character array is too long, and this used to be the case in the first version of C that came out in 1978, when you had to define one more character for a string than the number of characters that you wanted to hold in the string, and the last character was reserved for the null character. So C++ still maintains that and doesn't allow you to write this definition, and as you saw before, C could handle it, ANSI C. Let's go back to our C program and see the second difference that I found. The second difference has to do with assignment of pointers. C allows us to assign pointers of type void to any other pointer types, and also vice versa. Every other pointer type could be assigned to a pointer to type void. C++ does not allow assignment of a void pointer to any other pointer. So let's look at the example here. This is my C program, remember. So here I'm defining a pointer to void called pt1 and an integer variable and a pointer to integer. Then I'm assigning the address of the integer k to the pointer pt1, and this is allowed in both languages. And here I'm assigning the pt1, which is a pointer to void, trying to assign the pointer to void to a pointer to integer, which is kptr, defined here. And this works fine. If I compile this program, see that the build succeeded. Now let's switch into my C++ program and see the same thing here. Okay, so here I have the same code as I had in the C program, and you can see that I have the exclamation mark, and it tells you assigning to int from incompatible type void. So this is the second difference, that you cannot assign a void pointer into any other pointer in C++. Let's go to this third difference, and I'll go back to my C program. The third difference has to do with the goto statement. It's not a very popular statement, but sometimes people use it. Not recommended, but anyway, when you try to issue a goto into a block of code, for example, I have a block of for loop here, and outside the loop I have a goto statement which goes into a label called starting, and the label is defined here. So you can see that the label is inside the for loop. And just to show that this thing works, I have a print statement, and if that goto works, then I, which is initialized to 0, will first be printed as 0 here, and then later on the loop will go on and print the rest of the label with the value of I. So as you can see here in the result, it's the same program that I ran before. I can run it again just to show you that this is the code that runs. Run. And here you can see that the first number that gets printed is the 0, because we had the goto starting, and starting starts with printing of I, which is 0, and then the next print has the label, by which time I is 1, so it prints label 1. So this thing worked fine. Now let's go to my C++ program with the same code, and here it looks like the compiler doesn't give us any error. It's the same code with the goto starting and the for loop here. So let's just comment out the previous examples and try to run program. Okay, and now you see that it's showing me the error here on the goto, and it says goto into protected scope. So C++ doesn't allow me to go into the middle of another block of code. Of course, it doesn't make much sense to go into the middle of a code block, but still, it's something that you should remember that works in ANSI C but doesn't work in C++. Okay, that's about our lesson for today, and I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you like it and want to see more, please subscribe to my channel. See you later. Hasta la vista.